Imagine a world where you, as a scientist, don't go to a lab to do research, but everything happens inside a computer. Imagine a world where you go to the lab as a final step and not as the first step. Imagine a world of research where you have answered every question related to cancer, HIV, neurodegenerative diseases, aging, and whatnot. Hello and welcome to Biotechnica's special webinar on artificial intelligence, data science, and how it is changing the face of biological research. Today, I am joined by three scientists who are going to talk about the importance of these things in biological research. But before I get started, I have a question for all of you. Have you ever seen a typewriter? Let me know in the comment section or the chat section. Have you ever seen a typewriter, real typewriter in your life? Yes or no? I'm sure many of you will say no, because you were born after the typewriter era. But I am from the era where there used to be typists and typewriters. Today, that profession is long gone, right? The reason all of this is happening is because of there is only one word, technology, right? Technology changes the landscape of everything in this world. I think 124 years ago, nobody believed when someone said, we can fly. But today you're flying first class, you're flying business class, right? Today you have airlines which can help you reach any part of the world within hours. But still, there is one field untouched by revolutionizing technology, and that is biological research. Even today, scientists have to go to a lab, play with chemicals, sometimes dangerous chemicals, and then finally they come up with some product which ultimately gets rejected in clinical trials. So today, this has to change. And you, my dear friend, are going to change. Today, our three speakers are not just going to talk about regular stuff. They will deep dive into how artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data biology, data science is going to change how you do research. And like I have always told, like Charles Darwin also told you, that survival of the fittest. It's not the species which is the strongest, not the species which is the weakest, but the species which is adapting to change will survive. We have to adapt to this change. Today, artificial intelligence is being used in biotechnology research. Last week, Friday, I interviewed the CEO of Oxford Drug Design under our Legends of Biotech series. And he is a real visionary. And this company, Oxford Drug Design, has not just done molecular screening, but now they're doing three things on cancer research. Okay, you must watch that video whenever it comes live. So they have looked at not just the screening of the molecules, they're also looking at the viability of the molecules when we synthesize it in lab will it attack cancer? And the third thing, they are looking at, can we mass produce this? All three things inside a computer. And then they go to the lab and produce it. And they're giving this platform now to other companies to utilize. You'll not believe they are having big rounds of investment right now, and they are struggling to get manpower. And that's how they met Biotechnica, right? So we are here to help you revolutionize the AI, ML, and of course your career. So let me start by inviting all our three speakers for the day. We have Dr. Mr. Prodyot Banerjee. He is senior scientist in Biotechnica in Bioinformatics and AI, ML. Hi, Prodyot. How are you?
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing good, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. Second, we have Dr. Elamathi joining us from Bengaluru. Hi, Dr. Elamathi. How are you?
Uh, Fine, sir. Hi, everyone.
So Dr. Elamathi is an AI/ML specialist. Followed by that, we have Dr. Nilofer. She'll be our third scientist for the day. Dr. Nilofer, hi, how are you? Good evening. I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone over there.
So, good evening, everybody, and we have our panelists ready, our speakers ready for today, and they are going to give a brilliant talk on how AI, ML, and data science is going to change the face of biological research. So let's get started first with Mr. Prodyot, a senior scientist at Biotechnica, and he's also working on various collaboration projects along with us with multiple companies. So I'm going to tell you he's at the forefront of biological research using AI, ML, and bioinformatics. So over to you, Pradyot, if you could please share your screen and get started with the webinar for today.
Sure, sure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So I'm just sharing my screen. Hopefully everyone can see. Can you just please confirm once?
Yes, we can see it. Please go
Is it
ahead.
busy? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So hello everyone. So my name is Prodyot Banerjee. I'm a bioinformatics scientist over here in Biotechnica Bangalore. And today we'll be talking about a topic that is your AI and data science in multi-omics analysis. Basically, multi-omics data that is generated from the wet lab, how we can analyze it in a better way and in a concise way so that we can get some fruitful result out of it, and how we can do it faster and in a precise way. Okay, so that is our topic for today. So let's get started with it. So first of all, we need to know. So let's get a pen by your side. So basically, initially we need to know what is the multi-omics data. Okay, so most of you must be knowing, but for the information sake, basically omics basically means your studies. Okay, so when we have studied about your central dogma of life, we have studied about genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, then your metabolomics. Okay, so basically like the study of genes will be called as genomics, the study of your transcriptome will be called as your transcriptomics, the study of your protein will be called as your proteomics, and likewise the study of your metabolic pathway would be called as your metabolomics. Okay, so what kind of data we encounter in day to day or in basically in research is, like in genomics data we'll be having data related to genes, then multiple nucleotide sequences that we can analyze, then we are identifying some kind of variances in the form of your SNPs, then your various number of tandem repeats, and likewise. Okay, so those includes your genomic data. Okay, then coming on to your like different data sets, like after genomics we can also have epigenetic modifications like your DNA methylation, acetylation, histone modification, and likewise. Okay, so that is your epigenetic data. Then you have your transcriptomic data. Okay, so in transcriptomic data you will be having different kind of RNAs like your mRNA, then long non-coding RNAs, then snRNAs, and likewise. Okay, then further we have proteomics, where we are studying about the protein, the structure of the protein, how the structure of the protein is uh, influencing the biology in different ways, how we can analyze the protein structure to to know about the disease, and likewise. So different type of structures, like starting from your primary, secondary, going to then your tertiary, and likewise globular protein as well. Okay, so after that, if we have the insight about the like metabolites that are involved in a particular process or metabolic pathways. Okay, and if we are able to identify the metabolite which is being mutated or which is not which is malfunctioning, that will trigger a cascade of reactions. Okay, that we can study in disease biology. Okay, so basically so this will be the basics of your omics data that we handle. Okay, so it can come from obviously from your wet lab as well as dry lab. Okay, but the processing that particular data, the result of this particular data after when it comes to analysis, so this is a big kind of a data. Okay, a huge number of data comes in. Okay, either you do it solely based on individual like genomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, and metabolomics, or you integrate all of them together to call it a multi-omics data analysis. Okay, so what is the importance of integrating all of them? Okay, so that we can understand. So the importance of integration is that we are getting a holistic view. Okay, holistic view of how all the things can turn up. Let's suppose I want to identify a particular disorder. Okay, for that, which particular like omics levels we can study that let's suppose a mutation happened at the genomic level and it is not a silent mutation. Okay, so it will be reciprocated to the proteomic level as well. Okay, so what kind of protein anomaly is happening, and likewise we can understand when we are like taking all the things into consideration. Okay, so that is the importance of your integration of all kind of multiomics data. Okay, so then biomarker identification. Okay, so obviously we know for your cancer research and many other kind of research, biomarker identification comes very much handy. Okay, then once we identify a particular kind of a disorder or a malfunctioning gene or this that, so what to do with that? Obviously we'll be trying to go for drug discovery. Okay, either it be your wet lab based drug discovery or computer aided drug designing and discovery. Okay, so that is called as a CADD. Okay, in this case, so that particular CADD process can also be accelerated using AI, and all kind of data analysis that is there can be accelerated using AI as well as automated too, so that there is less of human intervention in between. Okay, so regarding that we'll be talking now. Okay, so we have understood that what is a multiomics data. Okay, so now I am going to give a like brief overview of what is the AI and how AI can be utilized for multiomics data analysis. Okay, so obviously explaining everything in this 10 to 15 minutes is not possible, so I'm trying my level best to concise all the things. Okay, as the time constraints are there. Okay, so you must have heard about AI, ML. Okay, so then deep learning, natural language processing, and all of these things. Okay, so are they same, or sometimes you might have seen them, you like seen somebody using them interchangeably? Okay, so we need to know, so are there any differences or not? Okay, so first coming on to your artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence is basically we are trying to mimic our like human brain, or basically computer can think like us. Okay, so basically we are mimicking that. Okay, so that is your artificial intelligence. So this is a bigger umbrella, as you can see in this particular Venn diagram, that artificial intelligence is a bigger umbrella under which comes your machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing. Okay, so this in other ways you can put it like that like your machine learning and your deep learning or natural language processing, all these are tools to achieve artificial intelligence. Okay, in other words. Okay, so basically what is happening in machine learning? Okay, so let's first get an overview of that. Okay, so basically we are making the machine learn. Okay, let's suppose you are a newcomer to or you are understanding something. Okay, so you are studying for a particular degree. Okay, so you'll be studying some like material in there. Okay, so that will be a training data set. Okay, so just like imagine your brain as a machine. Okay, if your brain is as a machine, you imagine, so you have been trained using the degree books. Okay, so those books data you are utilizing. Okay, and you are incorporating that in your mind. Okay, then you give an exam. Okay, so you're setting for an exam. Okay, based on that knowledge you are giving the exam. Okay, but in the exam you won't be asked the same question, isn't it? So but based on that particular knowledge you are giving the exam, so that is called as your test data. Okay, and this is called as your training data. Okay, then after giving the test you will be awarded with some marks. So always it won't be 100%, so let's suppose you score 70%. Okay, so that 70% is your basically your evolutionary like evaluation data. Okay, evaluationary data. So basically so that is your predicted value, that that particular machine learning algorithm is 70% accurate in predicting whatever it was taught about. Okay, so it can like precisely, or basically with 70% accuracy it can predict that this is let's suppose cat or dog, whatever it is. Okay, so just for example. Okay, so likewise that is your machine learning. So then coming to your deep learning. In deep learning what we do, basically in deep learning we like solve more intricate problems, basically more complex problem we are trying to solve. So a more what you say computational memory is required, as well as your more rigorous amount of training is required as compared to machine learning. So that is the difference. Okay, then comes your natural language processing. So any kind of unstructured data, let's suppose our language. Okay, so if machine has to understand our language, so our language is basically unstructured. Okay, so that will be done using natural language processing. Okay, and there in the Venn diagram you can see there is a gray area in between. So there are some tasks which can be done using all of them. Okay, combination of all of them, or even like individually you can also pursue the same. Okay, so now coming on to the main part of ours, that how it will aid in biological data analysis. Okay, so first thing is machine learning can be used. So some certain examples I have incorporated over here. So like there are certain algorithms like your random forest support vector machine, or certain web servers or tools like Weka can be used for biological data classification and likewise. Okay, so it will be having classification and regression problem. Okay, so you'll be solving classification and regression problem if you are doing supervised learning. In unsupervised learning you will be doing clustering. Okay, and likewise. Okay, then using deep learning, so there are multiple applications of deep learning in biology, like your convolutional neural network that can be used to predict protein structures, as well as it can be utilized in so neural network is a part of deep learning basically. Okay, and in neural network comes a convolutional neural network. Okay, so this CNN can be used for your image based data analysis. Basically it will analyze the pattern in an image. So like your any kind of radiological image can be analyzed using this without any human intervention. You can just train the machine using multiple data sets, multiple histopathological data sets. Okay, and based on that it can give you the result. Okay, so what type of cancer it is, what staging it is, how it will progress. Okay, all kind of things can be done, or early detection of breast cancer also is possible by this. Okay, then ANN artificial neural network, then you have AlphaFold, everyone knows of this. Okay, so AlphaFold is again a AIML based tool for protein structure prediction. Then you have alpha missense from the same company, that is deep sea deep minds from Google. Okay, so alpha missense is used for variance analysis in protein. Okay, then you have chromatin based analysis. Okay, so then different like expecto is then used for different kind of genetic expression in different level of tissues. Okay, likewise. Then natural language processing can be used in multiple tangents, like your scientific literature and extraction. Okay, in literature review also you can find multiple papers on this, that for searching for a particular topic they have utilized all the PubMed based paper to search for that particular thing. Okay, so that can use natural language processing because it is a unstructured data. Okay, some examples will be MouGPT and Cambeta, which is used for your virtual screening in drug discovery. Okay, then you have predictive modeling, which is a part of your large language model. Okay, large language model basically, if a particular patient is predisposed to a particular condition, let's suppose. Okay, so based on its pedigree analysis and this that based on its history, basically we can predict the later outcomes, like in which year he or she might get diabetes or cancer and likewise. Okay, so predictive modeling. Okay, then target identification and computer aided drug designing and discovery. Okay, like your novel drug discovery, finding a particular pocket in the receptor, or like getting your target identification for that. Okay, so some examples would be your Zyrachem, RTDoc for your docking studies, TorchMD for your MD simulation studies. Okay, so all these things can be basically automated using AI. And why we are using AI for the automation, like fast processing, good prediction, as well as cutting down upon the time. Okay, so those are the USPs of using a AI instead of doing it manually or one by one. Okay, so then coming on to the role of AI, so basically the applicability or application of your AI in multi-omics data analysis. Okay, so I will go a bit fast. Basically the definition of multi-omics, we have already discussed about this. Okay, so why we are integrating all of them, basically to get an holistic overview of all the things. Okay, so that we can integrate all the knowledges and come to a result that what actually is causing the problem. Okay, then role of AI is basically in data processing. Obviously, it is fastening the process by a fair margin. Okay, then trying to find particular kind of pattern. Okay, so be it image based data, audio based data, or like your in our case like sequence based data. Okay, so any kind of sequence, nucleotide sequence, protein sequence, a pattern in those. Okay, so based on similarities and differences. Okay, then predictability, so predicting something based on the previous data that you have. Okay, so then you have enhanced data visualization. It is not that only we will be analyzing always. It is very important to represent the data also in a format that a whole lot of data can be represented in a particular area, so that for the other researchers to understand it in a better and convenient way. Okay, so yes, some of the noble case studies we can understand, so not restricting to this. Okay, so there are multiple case studies that we can go for, but the major ones are basically breast cancer studies. So as I said, to identify the biomarkers, or to come up with a personalized medicine treatment, or to identify the radiological images of breast cancer, you can identify it beforehand also. Okay, so then you have metabolic disorder insights. Okay, integration of some metabolomic studies and genomics, integrating both genomics and metabolomics to come up with a particular metabolic pathway is causing a particular disorder. You can identify that. Okay, then after that what do you say, integrating all of the multi-omics levels to come up with a particular coping mechanism. Okay, so how can you go about it? Okay, then further, coming for your personalized medicine treatment. So obviously, in order to tailor made a medicine for a particular person, you need the genetic insight of that particular person. Okay, and that genetic data is obviously not a small amount of data, so that is a huge data. So for processing that, it is better that you utilize a deep learning or like neural networks and likewise. Okay, so that would be better. Okay, so yeah, so then coming on to the future trends of it. So basically, why we are utilizing AI? Because it is future proof, first thing. Okay, so importance of multi-omics data that we have understood. Okay, so the role of AI and data science that is there. Okay, so main part is obviously it is automating the process, fastening the process, cutting down upon the time, and it is very much accurate as compared to the if you are doing something manually or one by one. Okay, then integrating all of them gives us the better insight. Okay, and when it comes to like advancement in AI technologies. Okay, so with the advent of newer generation of computing, like with the advent of nvidia based chipsets, okay, that we see. Okay, then obviously we have moved to quantum computers and likewise. So with the what do you say, exponential growth of AI in the field, so obviously our data, so the more data we generate from the biological research will be analyzed in a better way and in a faster way. Okay, so then coming on to personalized medicine again, the personalized medicine, we have a whole lot of data required for a particular person, and we will be cutting down upon the side effects if we can come with this personalized medicine. Okay, and for that a whole lot of data is generated, and to analyze that, AI is a must have. Okay, so yeah, so that is all. And last but not the least is revolutionizing your medical science with AI. Okay, so why there are multiple applications of AI in medical science. Okay, but we'll mention some of them. Okay, so obviously first is your multi-omics data analysis to come up with your tailor-made medicines. Okay, basically personalized medicines. Okay, then genomic insights, and last but not the least is your most important, that is your automated radiological image analysis using convolutional neural network or other kind of neural networks also. Okay, because that has the potential to identify patterns in the image, and based on that we can analyze that. So the job of the radiologist is in what do you say, in danger. Okay, so in the future. Yeah, so on a lighter note, yeah, so yeah, so that is all from my side. Thank you everyone. So hopefully you have gained some insight from the presentation. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Sheikh sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Is my slides are visible? Okay. So, first of all, thank you all for joining the webinar. Today, we'll see the cutting edge technologies of AIML data science in the biological research. So, first part, we'll just see in the image analysis how the AIML is beneficial. If you see the image analysis in the traditional technique, we generally go for the microscopy technique, conventional technique. And when it comes to the histopathological studies, we go for biopsy and other techniques, okay, for diagnosis. And also the in biological research, multiple research, we use this. We go for, in case of cancer studies, we go for um, brain and MRI scan. In case of respiratory diseases and some chronic diseases like cardiovascular diseases, we'll go for ECG. Okay, and most of the image techniques are really important in case of health related as well as the biological research. So here, um, we can say that this AML approaches, especially the deep learning techniques like CNN, convolution neural network, and also some of the pre-trained models like ResNet, which is actually then graphical GAN techniques. Okay, so really this has surpassed the traditional techniques, and it has given lot of advantages. Let's see one by one. Like first thing is image segmentation. Okay, so here even the tissues, okay, it can able to segment the images very clearly with the clear pixels. Okay, even the low resolution images, it could able to even from the raw limited data of low resolution images, that can make it into a better clarity. Okay, so by using this, we can able to even identify the brain tumor mapping for chest related disease, then diabetes, chronic diseases. For all this, we can even able to analyze the cancerous tissue at the early stage itself. Okay, so that we can go for the treatment planning, because this has better sensitivity and specificity, so that it has give the, see, even it can miss over in the traditional methods, but by in the AML image analysis, it has given the better clarity, uh, and also it has given the positive approach towards the healthcare. So it can even it has some even any differences would be there, okay, in the images, and that could able to find out those differences also from the normal and abnormalities of the cells, tissues. They could able to have the better clarity. So this makes the radiologist work little more easier as well. So image analysis is done through deep learning technique. Under that CNN, and we have GAN and other techniques which gives the better clarity. For diagnosis also we can use this, and healthcare it has a, in biological research it has lot technique. It has see, even though it has surpassed the traditional technique, it has the 99%, more than 90% of sensitivity and specificity this have. Okay, next we'll see about the uh, NLP technique. Most commonly in AML, we say always often heard about the term natural language processing. Okay, so this NLP technique, how it is beneficial, we'll see in the genomics kind of research actually. First thing is, using the test mining, it is very beneficial, because even from the scientific literatures, biomedical based scientific literatures, it could able to collect the important necessary information regarding the diseases, and especially the biomedical based diseases or any scientific research. Text mining it could do in a better way, so that we can make the hypothesis generation in a better way, so it accelerate our research in the next level. So now from the text, it could able to easily collect all the ideas, and then it generate the good hypothesis from the text. Okay, through many literatures. What are the tools we recently use over there is bet, and then through text expresso we use. Okay, and basic on the scientific opera, it has been trained well, so that it collect the good information regarding all those genes which is associated with the disease, and related to other scientific research as well. It has taken into the next level. So now from the text, it has collected all the hypothesis information. So next thing, it helps in gene ontology annotation as well. Okay, so this ML algorithms, it goes along with the gene ontology tools to give the better, more precision, and also the accuracy in understanding the gene interaction, and along with their pathways we can understand in a better way. It can also helps in analyzing the variants. Okay, so here it use the deep variant technique, okay, to analyze the variation in the whole genome wise, and also uh, all kind of omics data. Especially it could differentiate the genetic variations, which makes us easy to move forward with the targeted therapies nowadays. Yeah. So next important thing is drug discovery. Just before, you have heard of how AML and deep learning is more benefited in this. Actually, here we use the, see, even from the target prediction to identifying the novel molecules, to identifying the novel targets, and making the better understanding of the target, and the new molecules compound interactions well. This has been done very well through this ML techniques. Okay, and even it can able to screen the millions of compounds in a short time with a better precision and accuracy it could able to do. So see, drug discovery through AML, how we can believe the reliability of the technique, how we can believe means it has the uh, it see it has surpassed all the traditional methods of drug discovery, but still it need to, even though we done it through the AI, the proper clinical trials and validations what we are supposed to do, that need to be carried out. Okay, so it minimize the time of pre-discovery stage and the preclinical studies. It has minimized those time, and success rate is also going in line, so that every pharma companies nowadays, they are in concentrating on this drug discovery, they are concentrating. Yeah, based on AI technique they are concentrating. So especially it helps in visual screening. And the next thing is drug repurposing. Okay, so already the approved drugs, okay, how it can be benefited for treating other disease, such kind of research is also done better through this AI algorithm. And see, through the deep bind technique, we can able to find the better target, and how the ligand is getting bind with the target. This can be studied very effectively. Okay, so next to come protein folding. Okay, see, protein folding is an important thing. Okay, so here uh, predicting a protein structure without experimental technique. Okay, and then protein understanding the protein folding is more important. Okay, and predicting a protein folding is also more important. Okay, so here in AML we can use the employ the reinforcement learning. Okay, and also the alpha fold. Okay, so that has made the better understanding of the protein structure prediction. And even the computationally solved protein can also, nowadays it is being deposited in the PDB. Okay, so we can say that it has uh, it has surpassed the traditional technology with the better advancement. It is there, because solving the membrane protein structures is very tough. But in case of this, using the alpha fold, it makes the better protein prediction, and also the understanding of the protein folding make us very easy. And also nowadays we have the industrial based enzymes are there. Okay, where these enzymes are used for medicinal aspect, and also for other useful daily use products. Okay, microbial related products. Okay, so in industrial aspect also, people use this reinforcement learning and protein folding method in those enzymes to get the beneficial part they are doing. Okay, so the reinforcement learning algorithm, they are very beneficial. Okay, so it can able to develop the new targets, and also it could able to help the product improvement in the biomaterials and in enzymes, and also it active the better understanding of the complex biological system effectively. Okay. Yeah. So next thing, if you see, it is mainly used for predictive analytics in the early stage of disease diagnosis. Okay, and also helps in the prognosis as well. See, some chronic disease are there. We need to identify at the early stage itself, like cancer. In cancer, different kind of cancers we have, right? So for all those things, see, if you we need to identify those chronic diseases at the early stage. Okay, that is very needed. Now this AI can combine with the, it can able to analyze the multiple patient data, even the clinical trial data it could see. Okay, based on their medical history, genetic information, and along with the clinical trial analysis, all those, it makes a better outcome for the patient. So nowadays clinician should get along see, the challenge will be there, that to understand the AI based analysis and those report, even the clinician should understand, so that they can make a better effective outcome. It is happening actually in the routine basis nowadays, it is happening all over the place. Okay, so here the main thing which is it is helping is early diagnosis for the chronic disease is really important. So along with the patient data, so to get the better outcome, and as well the personalized treatment planning is very important. So it is having a major application in the healthcare. Okay, so it has bring a lot of revolution in the healthcare. It empower the clinicians to get the better treatment for individual patients. Okay, actually this is more important. See, even though the human beings, we all are same, our genomes are different. So nowadays peoples are making a specialized mapping the specific genome, and based on that the specific treatment for the certain diseases are happening nowadays using the NGS technology, and also the advantage of the AI and ML. Yeah. So next thing is, if you see, the AML is also helpful in synthetic biological data generation. Okay, so how it is beneficial nowadays? Data is very limited for certain cases. The real time data, if you want to do a biological research, we need more amount of the real time data to experiment. But nowadays there is a scarcity in the data is there. To simulate those conditions, to mimic those conditions or simulate this condition, we need this generative models like GAN. Okay, and all those to create new data. Okay, so that we can experiment more with those, simulate in a virtual environment more by using the AML to get a better insights into our biological research, and also to find the new possibilities. So it is helping the researchers in a better way. Yeah. So as we are dealing with the data using this, say, AML or data science in the life science, here some challenges are there. Data should be very quality. Okay, ensure that we should have a good quality data. Okay, and interpretability is more important. Okay, so whatever the result we get, okay, from AML, whatever it generate, we cannot believe as it. We should also have some validation, cross validation method to check their accuracy as well. There are the systems are there. Okay, so here next thing is, whatever the work we carry out through AML, ethical consideration is more important actually. So here the WHO, World Health Organization, and Europe Union, they both have the ethical guidelines they have given for such kind of life science or clinical based research, biomedical research. So we should, even though we are using AI, we should follow those guidelines. Yeah. So in the future outlook, if you see, AML is giving lot of advantages in biological research. Especially they are giving the targeted new therapies like CRISPR genome editing therapies, gene therapies, gene editing therapies, immunotherapy, personalized oncologies, neurotherapies, regenerative medicine, and mRNA based therapies. These are some of the new therapies which is targeting. So one last thing which I would say, that to there are some more companies are there nowadays. It is booming in India as well as in abroad. Some of the companies like Stand Life Science, Tibgo Software, okay, Agenix Technologies, TCS, Accenture, and all those, they are trying to use this AIML and data science in analyzing the biological data, okay. And then even the pharma companies are mainly using it actually. Even in abroad they are using it, like Benevolent, DeepMind, okay. They are using it more. All the pharma companies are using the AML and data science in their research, okay. So see, what are the, see, persons, if somebody is interested in AML and data science research, what all the qualities they should have? Mean, they should know about bit of programming, they should know, okay. And as well they should know about the Python or R programming, they should aware of, okay. And they should know about the different AML techniques, and the deep knowledge, bit of statistic knowledge they should have, and the domain knowledge they should have, okay. And they can easily learn this AML technique and involve in their research as well. Yeah, all the best, and more opportunities are nowadays there, okay. So yeah, so you guys can utilize that. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much, Prodyot sir and Dr. Elamathi ma'am, for elaborating an overview regarding how ANML can be used for the biological data sets, including the data science application. So, hello guys, as you all know, myself, Dr. Nilofer. So today I'm going to highlight the further things is nothing but the challenges, right? So as you all of you have explored like a very overview regarding how the ANML can be used, but now in my presentation, basically I'm going to give you an overview, guys, like how you can get to know what are the challenges and even the career opportunities of ANML and even the data science in biological research, so that if you understand those basic overview, so that you can be ready to launch yourself. Okay, guys. So I will be going to share the screen. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Yes, great. So moving ahead, where I'm going to elaborate majorly on the following points is nothing but the career opportunities, right? And which are the challenges which we all have to know as a researcher, and then we have to work on the overcoming the challenges by studying the AI and ML, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and definitely the data science will come into the picture, because whatever the data we are going to pull is from the specific repositories or the databases. So that is how we are going to use the data set, and we are going to move ahead to overcome the challenges and then move to study the following overview with respect to the research based application and look ahead to launch yourself with respect to the career opportunities. So as you all can see, guys, that the AI, ML, and the data science is one of the revolutionizing field in the field with respect to the biological research. So here in this era, we have to now combine the specific domain area with the cutting edge computational tools. As we all know, guys, like now we are able to retrieve the data sets, right? We are able to analyze the data, and further to that we are able to make more predictive analysis. So we have to get that particular opportunity, and we have to combine all the relevant high throughput techniques in the tools and move ahead to perform the computational analysis by using the tools and perform a vast amount of big data analysis. And then that is exactly which is open up a new avenue for the scientific discovery and the innovation. All of you agree with me, right? So this is exactly has opened up a new era where we can upgrade our skills and then think about how to make a new applications with more predictive analysis. Continuing ahead is nothing but the current trends of AI and ML in biological research. We are going to highlight some of the couple of important points over here. As you all can see, guys, like artificial intelligence has played a very significant role in the bioinformatics data. So what we have to do is nothing but we have to provide those data sets by integrating the advanced tools as well as the techniques to process a vast amount of biological data. So basically, what is vast amount of biological data? It's nothing but big data, large data sets, which is stored in bioinformatics platform in the form of genomics data sets, which contain sequence, or else if you just consider in the form of proteomics data sets, which contain the quantitative and the qualitative information. So we have to integrate this kind of multi-omics data sets so that we can come up with respect to the in-depth findings and then lead towards the novel variations with respect to the integration of AI and ML. Discussing ahead, AI in bioinformatics includes biology as well as the clinical research. So as you all know, guys, like today in this era, we are just looking to integrate AI, ML. So what is the application? Why we are doing all this stuff? It's nothing but we are discussing about the future. We are planning for the future where we can come up with respect to designing precision medicine, where we can study the clinical data with respect to the omics data sets. And that is really important. So that is exactly what we have to look with the current trends, right? So we have to look with the biological data sets as well as the clinical research, which helps the particular biological sequencing matching. And then we can even study what are the relations, nothing but protein-protein interactions. Okay, we can study what exactly the new variants, new targets, okay, new pandemics which are occurring, how exactly we can target those things. It's nothing but by studying the known targets which are available and how it is interacting with the others. This will help us to uncover the findings and study the overall biological mechanism. Whereas we can even study what is a function related to that particular targets, and then we can look towards the structure analysis for the same. So this is ultimately helping guys to study the drug designing concept and implement with respect to the complex biological system by taking the integration of artificial intelligence, deep learning screening, as well as machine learning models. And that is exactly how the industry and the researchers are using this data to look for more predictive analysis. As you all can see, guys, like next is machine learning and deep learning techniques. How exactly it's enabling is nothing but the algorithms. The algorithms which is designed in a such a way that it's making us to automate find the features which are really important. So what are ultimately the features, guys? Features are nothing but the properties. The whatever the data sets what we are processing, so it contain the most important properties which leads towards the finding the correlation between the data. And if we find the correlation, so there is a maximum chances that we can lead ahead to make some clustering analysis, and then we can look towards the interactions, and moreover we can move towards the more predictive analysis. And that's why those algorithms which is designed in a such a way that it is helping us, it is guiding us to find the automate features, okay, which are important by studying the relations between the data sets. For an example, is nothing but gene and their expressions. So if there are 100 genes, so what is the relation of every genes with the other? Do that particular gene is highly correlating with their high particular mutation data sets or based on their expression value? So this kind of features we can identify. Or else we can even get to know if we are studying with respect to the drug data sets. So if we are looking for the drug of 100 molecules, so what is the relation of every drugs with respect to their specific disease target? So we can study the drug properties, and those are nothing but the features. Okay, so I hope that you got the specific example for the better understanding. So ultimately, this kind of machine learning and deep learning algorithms help us to uncover this specific research area where we can look towards the important features and then design a more predictive or else specific models where we can design with respect to the disease target what we are interested. Okay, so basically this can means with respect to the data sets what we are looking ahead, and the algorithms we can even learn, and that will help us to combine the multiple features. Okay, it will look what is the correlation between every input what we are providing, and then it will come up with respect to giving you more prescribed models for your data set. Next is nothing but artificial intelligence, which is even involving to study the complex computer algorithms. And that is able to make this processing of our data in more prescribed manner. And we are able to short the data. Shorting is nothing but where we can look towards the important features and also the storing the data, which is ultimately a big data nowadays. So this will help us not only to make a model and find the features, but also it will help us to analyze and do the overview regarding the extrapolations. Is nothing but where we can study deeper insights every features and look towards more prescribed findings. I hope you all of you got the current trends regarding AI and ML in research, biological research. And next thing we are going to highlight is nothing but how exactly we can integrate those things, right? How we can integrate the AI, ML with respect to the traditional biological methods. So traditional biological methods are nothing but where we are still using some of the experimental data sets, right? Where the major of the data is get retrieved from the experimental techniques and the tools. And that is really important, guys, right? And that's why whenever we are retrieving any experimental data, so what we are doing, right? We are processing that particular data from the raw towards the curated format. Okay, so whatever the data which is stored in the raw file formats in the form of the databases which we are utilizing as a bioinformatician, so we are processing that data with respect to the data curation step. Got it? And that's why AI and ML algorithms can help us to optimize this experimental design and reducing the cost with respect to the time. Okay, so that is one of the thing. Apart from this, whatever the experimental design we are planning, right? So there are two things, guys. First thing is nothing but where we can pull out the data, retrieve the data from the experimental techniques. Okay, and then start processing and analyzing using bioinformatics tools and the softwares, and then integrating AI and ML for more predictive analysis. So that is one of way of the approach. Whereas the second way of approach is nothing but whatever the data is gets available, we are making some predictive analysis using AI and ML and bioinformatics stuff. And that will help us to make more prescribed kind of predictive validations ahead. The best example is nothing but CRISPR-Cas9 technique, right? I hope you all of you know that, right? So nowadays we are using those technique. Why? For gene editing. But here, later we are even going to integrate AI for the more prescribed findings so that we can do the proper gene editing with the predictive analysis. And ultimately, the algorithms will guide us. And this will help us to make a very predictive analysis where we can set up the experimental design in a very easy manner by looking towards the target. And followed with that, it will even reduce the cost, right? The unnecessary chemicals, what we are going to use. Rather than that, we are going to use a very personalized way of procedures we can follow. And then we can even look towards the time where a proper procedure and the timelines can be followed, because ultimately what the predictions is done with AI and ML will lead you towards some more validatory findings. Okay, the next important thing is nothing but data analysis. Data analysis is really important, guys, because whatever we are finding, right, we have to come up with the representations, we have to showcase our big data, and that's why we need a data analysis. And in that context, AI and ML can also analyze the data based on experimental and identify the key trends in the insights in your data. It can help us to showcase how to represent your big data, okay, in the form of the heat maps, in the form of the volcano plots, right? How we are presenting the differential expression gene, how we are showcasing the genes with respect to their hierarchical clusterings based on their expression pattern. So there are different multiple way where we can showcase our data, and that is really important. Next important thing is nothing but model building. So whatever the stuff we are doing over here, ultimately we are looking to build a model. And what kind of model? Is nothing but machine learning model, AI model, deep learning model, right? And this is exactly how the models can help us to predict the outcome of the experiments or to develop a new biological hypothesis. As I mentioned earlier in the experimental design, so there is a two-way. One, you can start with the experimental data and then look towards the predictive analysis, or else you can work on the experimental data and then look towards the validatory analysis. So that is exactly how here the third most important way where AI and ML can integrate with biological methods are nothing but it will guide you to come up with experimental findings, or it will help you to find the biological hypothesis accordingly. I hope the slide is clear to all of you, right? Moving ahead, if there is a big data, right, or complex data sets are available, so how exactly we can overcome these challenges? Okay, see guys, the challenges can definitely get overcome if we know the correct methods to implement, and that is exactly on the screen you all of you can see, right? The first is nothing but noise reduction. It's nothing but, as I mentioned in my previous slide, if there is a raw data, okay, raw data is nothing but the data where we have to do much pre-processing. Okay, if we have to look towards any kind of noise data sets are there with respect to their duplicates, null value, okay, any kind of redundant data is available, so we have to look towards proper pre-processing, and that is how that data is really important. So noise reductions in AI and ML algorithms can be used to filter out the noise data sets and then identify the true biological signals. It's nothing but the features which is really important to train ahead, and then study the correlation between every features and then design a more personalized or as predictive models with respect to your disease target, what you're planning. For example, I'm interested with respect to your drug discovery model. So my model will study only the drug features. Okay. Or else I'm interested to build a model based on their biomarker predictive based analysis. So what it will do is nothing but it will study only their specific features based on their gene and their expressions, so that I will get to know which genes is highly expressed, and then it will study the patterns and their features. So this is exactly how it is called as a studying the particular personalized or as the target oriented models can be designed. And that is how you can see that AI and ML will help us to find the automated features, and then it will help us to study only the important features which will lead you to uncover the most important significant biological mechanism, and then work with respect to the integration. Next thing is nothing but the limitations is nothing but with the model complexity. See, if you are taking machine learning, so there are different algorithms out there, right, which will help us to train your data and then lead towards the more predictive analysis. But after that, we also have a deep learning algorithms. Okay, so deep learning algorithms will work on the neural network, artificial neural network concept, and then it will take help of conventional neural network, and then you can even take help of RNN, right? So different methods are there. So to work on the complex algorithm, certain AI and ML models will help us to create more accurate representation of your complex system. Okay, how to represent your data, how to study the overall features, and then train with respect to the every data point. So that is exactly how the ML, AI, and data science will help us to work on the biological data set. Next is data scalability. So as AI algorithms can analyze a massive data, large data, or the comprehensive data, or the big data, whatever you can call it. Okay. So basically it is enabling the researchers to study the biological system and then look towards the unpredictable scale. It's nothing but a complex way of analysis we can achieve. Okay. And that is all can done by using our computational approaches. And that is fantastic, guys, right? And that is exactly what you all have to think whenever you're planning to work on the ML, AI, or else the data science point of application, studying the biological data set. Moving ahead, importance and significance of AI and ML in the biological research. So ultimately, this slide, what I have shown on my screen, will help you guys to think about how you can plan if you're really thinking to enroll or work on any kind of projects with AI and ML. Okay, this will ultimately a core area where you can start exploring the artificial intelligence, machine learning with their biological significance. So basically, the particular AI and ML will significantly improving the multiple areas of research and development. So majorly it is a novel target identification. It's nothing but drug discovery, which has been discussed by previous two of our instructor, right? The speakers, they have given you a broad overview regarding the same. And the next thing is target disease association. So why specific target is more getting significant mutated with specific disease target. So those kind of association study, those kind of mechanisms you can study by uncovering the patterns and studying the features which are responsible for the same. And then drug candidate identification. So there are n number of drugs are available, guys, right? All of you agree with me, right? So in the pharmaceutical industry, you have n number of drugs available. Apart from this, within the bioinformatics databases such as drug bank, pubchem, right? So you will find thousands and millions of compounds as get stored, which is even some of them are FDA approved. But still we are looking to find out some more potential novel targets. Why? Okay, the answer is very simple, guys. Why? Because the mechanism, the biological mechanism, right? We have to study the biological mechanism. Some disease resistance mechanisms are there, significant pathways which are altering. So this is exactly where we have to study the biological mechanism with multi-omics approach by the integration of AI and ML. And further to that, we have to look towards this kind of applications, the findings, novel drug target identification, target disease identification, drug target. And one of the most important, what we can say as the findings, what we can do is nothing but protein structure prediction. Hmm? So as we all know that protein structure predictions, we are now able to reach, right? We are able to do that using artificial intelligence technique. I hope you all of you know what exactly that technique is nowadays. It's an AlphaFold, right? We are using DeepMind, Google Mind, AlphaFold techniques to predict the 3D structures of the protein without making the experimental validations. Okay, and whatever the structures is getting predict, it's more validatory form. So that is exactly what the significant application you all of you can see, guys. And today we are able to use those structures, right? So here, the protein structure predictions can be done using AI and ML modeling. And we can even understand the disease mechanism, right? We can even develop a new prognostic as well as a predictive biomarkers by studying the data sets of our interest. Followed with that, we can even analyze the data from the variable devices. So variable devices is nothing but the real-time data. We can capture the real-time data from the patients, and then according to that, we can design a more prescribed, personalized targets as well as the more AI-based techniques which help us, which guide us to study the overall patterns about the patient data, right? Image analysis. Okay, I think the previous two speakers have highlighted the same overview. Image analysis. So image analysis we can do with respect to the biological data sets. Precision medicine. So that is ultimately future application of AI and ML, guys. So you all have to think about, right? And the clinical trial design is also one of the applications where AI and ML is getting integrated, because clinicians require this kind of tools to diagnose the specific patients more prescribely. Okay, if we have certain tools in their hands where the proper diagnostic can be done, so that will be easy for the clinicians to diagnose the patients and then quickly look towards the more personalized way of what you can say as the treating the patients. Got it? I hope you all of you get the points for the same. And then ultimately, these are the accelerating scientific breakthrough. Okay, so these are the current era where AI and ML is booming, right? It is playing a very significant role. And as we all know, guys, the one of the field is genome sequencing. So AI and ML is even getting integrated with genome sequencing, right? We are able to find a new genetic variants, novel variants, mutations with the screening of the genomics data. We are able to predict the 3D structure, as I've given the previous example, right? Using AlphaFold, DeepMind, etc. We can develop a new drug targets as well as a therapy with that context, where the some of the protein structures which are not known, right? So as we all know that new pandemics are coming. Why? Okay, new variants are getting detected. So if the variants does not have the structures with the protein, so do you think, guys, we will wait till the experimental structures will get validated? No, in our hand right now we have AI, right? We have machine learning, we have bioinformatics tools and the techniques. So we have to grab that opportunity, and then we have to study these patterns, right? And then gene expression analysis, that is ultimately important. If we study the gene expression, we will get to know which genes is highly expressed. We will get to know which are the biological mechanism and the targets can be selected. And that is really important, right? So that we can uncover the patterns of the new variants, and then we can targets with respect to finding the new drugs, looking towards the protein structure predictions, and then even we can look for the more personalized finding. All of you are agree with me, right? Okay. So the next is most important. Definitely, we all are using all AI everywhere, right? So definitely, we also have to think about how the AI will also have some of the ethical considerations, right? And even we also have to like highlight those important things, because if we know there is a huge application, right? We also have to know what are the challenges and what are the ethic concerns out there, so that we can study the ethic concerns and then we can work in the specific direction. Data privacy. So protecting the patient data, okay, and ensuring the responsible use of AI and ML with the critical research. Whatever the patient data we are training, so it should be ensure that the data is properly controlled, okay, secure, and the data is properly processed with the research point of view. Got it? Algorithm bias is nothing but it is important to understand and address the potential bias of AI and algorithm to ensure their specific how algorithm will work with the specific data sets, okay, and how we can improve the accuracy with respect to studying the specific patterns. Then the transparency, So transparency is nothing but if you are taking any data sets, so how the researchers can enables the specific data sets to process and look towards more precise finding. What are the decisions can they make, and what are the limitations can be encounter. So these are the few things we also have to highlight, so that as a researcher we have to know some of the important points, right? Moving ahead, upskilling the biologist is nothing but, as we all know guys, like AI and ML we can use with the biological stuff, but to process the AI and ML, definitely we also have to study certain kind of programming language, because without that we can't proceed ahead. Got it? Because it is anyhow uh, important nowadays, right? So in that context, you all have to guys start upgrading yourself with some of the programming language. Do it is the particular language with respect to the programming, but we also have to start looking towards upgrading our skill, right? So upgrading this skills with respect to the biological point of view is nothing but that will bridging the gap between life science and data science. Okay, so in that context we have to upgrade the skills by understanding the data, okay, how to interpret the data set, analyze. So that is really important. If you're not able to interpret the data, so how you will come up with some analysis, right? And that is really important. Programming skill, that is really important, because if we don't know how to showcase the data, how to look towards the specific predictive analysis, okay, programming language is ultimately guiding nowadays, right? So we have specialized packages are available. It is designed to work on your biological data. If you just pick up Python, right? So in Python we have biopython. Okay, that package has been specializedly designed to work on the biological data set, genomics, proteomics, okay, phylogenetic analysis, protein protein interactions. So this all kind of stuffs we can work with the biological packages in the form of the programming languages which are available, such as Python, that is biopython. And if you just pull out R, right? So in our language also we have specialized packages available, or as the entire pipeline is available to process our uh, biological data or the omics data set, such as genomics data. If you're interested to perform the gene expression analysis, so we have specialized pipeline available in R, from where you can start processing your samples from first step towards the last step of finding the genes which is highly expressed. So we have the packages, so you all have to utilize guys. Okay, you have to look towards how to utilize these packages with respect to the programming by upgrading your skills, and then switching with respect to the biological data sets, and then integrating with AI and ML with more prescribed finding. And definitely collaborative environments. Collaborative environments, that is really important, because if you're working in one direction, but if you don't know like what is exactly the loopholes are there, right? You can't move towards the findings. So that's why collaborative environment is also really important, guys. Okay, where you can study the data, interact with the data scientist, okay, work with the biological data sets, and then come up with more prescribed finding. All of you agree, right? Okay, moving ahead, emerging career paths. Okay, now if I'm thinking that I can use all the stuff of AI and ML, deep learning, machine learning, programming skills, right, multi-omics data, and more with respect to the bioinformatics application. So what is exactly my career path, how I can look myself by in future, right, if I just study in that path? So that is how the emerging career paths are there. So if you guys kickstart, right, if you just start launching yourself, so in future you can call yourself as a good bioinformatician, okay, where you can analyze, interpret the biological data, and look towards developing a bioinformatics tools, and then even support the research projects. Maybe it's a real-time research projects or as a sponsored research projects. So you will get that kind of opportunity. What do you say, guys? It is fantastic, right? The next thing is nothing but the computational biologist. So you can call yourself as a computational biologist, and nowadays it is a huge requirement. So develop and apply the computational methods to study the biological system and predict the outcome and design of experiments. So this is exactly what you all have to do, guys. Okay, you can work on the biological system, you can design the experiments, and then you can suggest to the researchers to validate ahead. Got it. And the next important career path what you can choose is nothing but AI and ML specialist or else AI and ML engineers. Got it. So you can call yourself as AI and ML engineers, where you can develop, implement AI algorithms for the biological research. And then you can even train the models, and it will help you to interpret the results with more prescribed finding. Okay, do you think, guys, it sounds really good? Right? So definitely you all have to think about that and start looking towards exploring this high demanding and upcoming career opportunities, right? So ultimately, the last slide about the future of biological research. So as we all know that it is transforming, right? So basically it's leading with the potential help of AI, ML, data science, and definitely deep learning application. So this field of biological research has enabling the development of new drugs, therapies, and accelerating the scientific breakthrough and understanding the complex biological system in unpredictable details, right? And that is how we are uncovering the new patterns. We are studying more predictive analysis, and that is exactly how it is leading to integrate AI ML with the biological application. Okay, so I hope that you all of you get a very good overview for the same. If you have any questions, guys, definitely you can open up with your questions. But I think before that, Shaker sir will elaborate some of the points. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Dr. Nilofer, and thank you, entire team. So let me start by talking about the abundance. Okay, if there was no abundance of data, probably AI/ML bioinformatics would not have been in the trend. So thanks to all the omics, all the technology, today we have more data for biological research than ever. And having said that, if we have more data, what do we do with that data? Right? Can we find patterns? Can we extrapolate? Can we look at the viability? Can we look at the scalability of this data? Can we look at how can we make profit out of this data? And that is where data scientists, data engineers, AI/ML engineers come into picture. The best part is software engineers have no idea about biotech, life science research. So they cannot get in. But you, with a foundational knowledge of AI/ML, bioinformatics, a bit of coding, you can become a data scientist, AI/ML engineer in biotechnology. And that is what we have been repeating n number of times now on our YouTube channel. Today you saw that with our panel of experts, Prodyot, Nilofer, and Dr. Elamathi shared. And trust me, personally, I have seen this happening when I'm interacting with a lot of industry leaders who are coming and giving their contracts. Very soon, we are going to come live with all the contracts we are getting from out of the country. And companies are like, okay, we don't have manpower. We want people. We are able to place our students there. On the top of it, we are getting requests for projects. More research projects are coming to us, whether it is monkeypox, whether it is HIV. We are doing research on neurosciences, neurodegenerative disorders, and cancer research. Very soon, we are also going to come up with cancer genomics research. Workshop in month of February. I'm sure you all have heard of. So you can learn a lot of these things, and I've put the link in the description. You can check it out. To help our students become future ready, we have the data science course coming up in March. The artificial intelligence course, now the admissions are closed. We cannot take you in there. That's closed now. But we still have a bioinformatics winter internship last batch coming up from 31st of January. You can always explore that. And all our internships are clubbed with projects from our Swedish partners. So you can actually get a hands-on on real world industrial bioinformatics, industrial AI/ML projects, which will help you not just publish paper, but get a job probably in Biotechnica itself. In fact, it is an open challenge. Publish 2 papers with Biotechnica, you get a job with us. That's the kind of confidence we have in AI/ML and bioinformatics. And having said that, our placement cell is already in action, and they are providing placements to our students, whoever is doing projects with us. So all of that, let's try to wind up now because we are already late by 16 minutes. And I'm sure you all have questions. So what I'll do is I'll share my email ID. If in case you have any question, any comments, anything you would like to know, please feel free to, email me, and I'll be sure to pass on to our team members. Okay, you can email me if you have any questions, because if we take up questions now, it'll take a lot of time. So feel free to email me, and I'll pass these your questions to our experts, and they will definitely reply you via email. So thank you so much for joining us this evening for the revolutionary technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, bioinformatics, and you. My dear friend, you are the best technology. Just upskill yourself and you're going to win. Thank you so much for watching this live stream. I will see you soon in some of our videos. Till then, please take care, keep learning, and keep upgrading yourself, because upgraded you is a better you. All the best. Good night. Thank you.